work, oh, the work they took forever on the road. Cones blur like memories of the miles we shared between.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 21, volume 2 of Big Fan, your number one source of everything cool in Western North Carolina. My name is Chad East, and today's episode, Hank, I'm not a big fan of Halloween decorations out in September.
No.
98-degree heat index at the end of summer. And the finality of all our fantasy football draft weekends, they all wrapped up last weekend. It's over. It's the end.
I hate all those things as well.
Yes, thank you.
My name's Hank Eimer, and I'm not a big fan of being asked to go to a family wedding where you get zero participation on the dance floor.
Just you? Oh,
We'll
tell me
talk.
about this, please.
I'm not a big fan of feeling like you were the best GM on the planet when watching your fantasy team go 0-1.
Yes.
Then, I'm not a big fan of watching a 10-year-old, after scoring 3 goals, raising their arms like they're Pele.
That has to be your son, Harris.
No,
Oh, it
Lord,
wasn't?
no. I
Okay.
can't wait to talk about every one of these.
Well, actually,
I'm kind of worked up.
Well, my man, I can tell you're pretty excited. We got the bright lights on us today here at the Mesh Studios. Glad to come to you live. Right? Let's go
No.
with it. September the 10th, 2019. So, Hank.
Right.
You got some stuff on your chest.
No, I got to get it off.
Let's let it out.
Gotta
Let's
get it
let
off.
out. Let me be your therapist this afternoon, Hank.
All right.
Hit me with it.
All right. Well, do we want to? There's 3 topics right there that we need to talk about. One's our fantasy football, one's the soccer game, and then one's the family wedding.
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with the family wedding.
Family wedding.
This past Friday, I got asked by my wife, my lovely wife, to go to a wedding. First of all, who gets married on Friday?
Nobody.
5 o'clock on Friday?
Yes.
5 o'clock on Friday.
Nobody.
Okay. You got to leave work early.
Sure.
Got to change.
Yes. Kids at school. Got to get
Right.
them all ready. Yeah.
So we go. It's about 40 minutes from the house. So I get home at like 3:30, change. I'm trying to do that. I change, right? Get everything ready, and after I get it all taken care of, all right. After I get it all taken care of,
Yes.
we head out to this wedding. Okay. Now this is a cousin that I know. We see each other about every
Cousin
Of
from
Reagan.
another cousin. No, so a close cousin, or we're talking?
It's Reagan's
Reagan
cousins, much younger.
cousin.
Much younger cousin.
Okay, go.
Okay.
Yes.
So we go. She's marrying this cat from Oakland, California. Okay.
Cool kid.
I have never met this individual.
Sure, yes.
So his family's there from Oakland, right? Some from New York. We are just meeting each other. Okay. Really weird ceremony. Didn't have her dad walk her down the aisle. There was a discussion. The reading really wasn't a reading. It was like an interpretive poem that the mother said, right? Then we had, after the ceremony was done, we ate. Then it was time for their first dance.
Let's go back to the menu. What are we eating? Normal food, or is this kind of exotic, odd stuff too? Okay.
No. This is normal food.
Normal
We
food.
sit down,
Okay.
we eat. Then they say this is the first dance, okay? So they dance to some song I didn't know.
All I want to do is zoom, zoom, and a boom, boom.
Not
that
song.
one. Okay.
Okay.
Let's move
Then
on.
they have the first dance with the father.
Yes.
Right. And then it's the mother with her son. So then they open up the dance floor, right? And they're like, all right, hey, open up the dance floor. Let's go.
Let's go.
So I tell Harris immediately, I'm like, I know you're nervous to get out there. First one out on that dance floor owns it. Let's go. Let's
time.
go. Me, Reagan, Harris.
Yes.
Jump up. Right?
What's the song? Do you recall?
I don't. It was
All I want to do is zoom. No, it's not that.
No. It was like a Stevie Wonder song, or it was something like that. Then Carson, Brenna,
Yes.
and their 2 girls get up, right? So we're in the middle of the dance floor, probably 100 people sitting on the outside, all watching.
Just staring.
Watching, judging, right?
Judging,
Judging, okay? So we dance, and I'm like, all right, everybody's just going to kind of loosen up, and then they'll get it. 10 minutes go by.
Ooh, still the only
30 minutes go by.
God, I'm starting to sweat just thinking about that,
Right?
brother. Yikes.
Right? I got off that dance floor. They only let us dance for about 45 minutes. Then they pulled the plug on the music, and they called it quits.
You're
but
kidding.
the wedding party never danced. They were inside. It was so weird.
Oh, man.
It was so weird.
Sounds
but,
brutal.
Hey, It was a lot of fun though, getting out there with 6 people.
First of all, did you start your own like little train? You know, just 6 people long going around those stages.
Going,
just
go.
your turn. Hey,
Go.
and then how about the worm? Did anybody break out the worm?
Harrisheimer does. I got
Did he?
video of it.
Wonderful. So as long as there's a train sighting and a worm sighting, I think that's a good wedding.
And
Good wedding.
I think the family from Oakland, you know, towards the end, they started getting a little
Shoulder
shoulder
shrug.
into it. And I think they were impressed with what Hickory brought on that dance floor.
Well, Hank, that's pretty brutal, to be
It was
quite honest.
brutal.
Yes. What is
was.
your go-to? Let's talk about go-to dance moves, okay? Like,
Okay.
let's say you're out there and you're like doing your thing and you're looking around and nobody's really coming to the dance floor. What move do you throw on them to entice them to bring it to the floor?
I don't know if there's there's like one go-to move.
Yeah.
You can't see, you go with like a Michael Jackson. You
Mixed
got
with the Prince.
Yeah, you've got.
Yes.
See, yours is a little bit odd because
odd.
You're not enticing other fellas to get out there because you do a lot of finger licking and like
I do.
and
I pull
going
my
down your
shirt down
chest.
a little bit,
Yeah.
over here like
you're
this.
You're not enticing another male to go out there with
very
you.
true.
So
That's true.
as far as dance moving forward,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's something subtle about my move. I don't know
Would
what it
you
is.
consider yourself smooth on the dance floor?
Sure.
Okay. I've seen you dance.
What do you think?
I think you're pretty smooth.
Okay.
Compared to other white boys, I'm gonna give you 9.
Oh,
I'm gonna
9.
give you 9.
I appreciate that.
You know where I put Will Rolling?
1.
I'm gonna give him a 2. I'm gonna give him a 2.
Yes.
How about CJ? Where are we gonna give CJ here?
I don't know about CJ.
I'm gonna put him in the middle. Let's give him a 5.5.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think that's probably okay.
Yeah, okay.
I'll tell you who is Carson Wiggins.
Yeah, I'm sure he can
He
dance.
can dance.
I'm sure
he can dance, and he's not scared to get out there and do it. That's
Yes.
that's what I was telling Harris. I was like, listen, I'm going to tell you 2 rules about dancing. A, girls like a boy that can dance.
Yes.
So know that. Number 2 is the people on the outside. They want to be on the dance floor, but they don't have the nerve to do it.
That's it, man.
So all you have to do is have the nerve, get out there.
Do you think the Big Fan listeners want to hear my story about junior high dance floor changing my life? Have I told this story on
Yeah,
Big
you've
Fan?
told
How many
this.
times have we told this story?
Probably twice.
Okay, well we'll leave it at that. If they want to hear it, just call me. We'll talk directly over my mobile phone, and it's a long story. It's about 25 minutes long, but it's what got me here today in front of this mic, Hank. It gave me confidence. You know what gave me confidence? Dancing.
Dancing.
I feel like I might break out a dance move right now. What do you think?
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. We'll save it. We'll save it for the end. Well, anyway, thank you for this discussion about
That's
the wedding.
awful.
Where would you put that in, like, the weirdest weddings you've ever been to? Because I've been to a couple weird ones, too. Are you going to put that pretty high up there?
It's going to be high. It's
Yeah.
going to be high up there just for the simple fact that it was. Can I tell you the other weird thing?
Please.
So we were at dinner, right? The groom is hugging and everything. He's a big guy. He's a pretty
Yeah.
big guy. Takes off his jacket. He's got a leather holster for a gun. No
Yes.
gun in it.
Yeah.
Just a leather holster under his jacket
Yeah.
during his wedding.
It's his style, man. It's his style.
I think I heard him say it was part of his costume.
Oh, really?
So I don't know where
Did he have
that.
like a cowboy hat on, too? or
He was
anything?
wearing a hat during the ceremony.
What?
Yes.
That's- okay.
Yeah, it
A
wasn't
top
like
hat?
a no,
Like
it was
a
like
top
a
hat?
fedora. It
Oh,
wasn't like a
fedora.
beret
Like a
or
Kango?
anything. No,
No?
a fedora.
A fedora. Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
It was just odd. It was just odd.
Did he change hats? Did he have a hat during the ceremony, a hat for the
Same hat.
reception?
Same
no,
hat.
no change of hats. Okay.
No, he
Did
looked
that-
kind of like a private investigator. You know what I mean? He had
He's going to pull his badge
he
out.
had the gun holster,
Yes.
and he had his hat, and it was hard to get past it. Once he pulled off that jacket, everybody was like, oof. And Reagan's other cousin, is works for NCIS. I mean, he's an investigator.
Yes.
And he was talking about he's going to check the log books on this guy when he gets back to his office. He's going to figure out if he knows anything about this guy.
Pretty funny.
Yeah.
Did the bride wear a hat?
She did not wear a hat.
Okay.
She did
Father of
not.
the bride.
No.
No hats. Okay.
No hats.
All right, so we'll move past this. This sounds like a great wedding.
It was. It was great.
I was just trying to think about the weirdest wedding I've been to. Most of the weddings I've been to pretty standard, food, dance, drink. I did go to a wedding that was completely dry, It's pretty odd.
I did too.
Really, what'd you think about that?
The only thing odd with that one, and Carson will love this because Carson was with me, is we get there And Bobby Leatherman, who's a guy here in town that works for a friend of ours,
Yeah.
he knew us. Like, he knows you. He knows me.
Yes.
So he starts the music immediately. Hank Eimer to the dance floor. Hank Eimer to the dance floor. It is like 2 in the afternoon.
Sure.
Dry.
Right.
I just choked down like 2 mints, that they had around the tables or whatever. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just weird. Like, Paul Breeding's wedding was one of the probably first ones that I was a part of.
Right.
And it was a fantastic wedding. But it was in the day and like dancing out on the dance floor and like getting it. And then all of a sudden the door would open, you'd see the sunlight and you'd be like, oh man,
come on.
It's daytime? It's just, I think it should be at night.
I just ate a bull peanut and I got peanut shells on them. Sorry, audience. But anyway, so the wedding that I went to that was dry was in Greensboro. It's one of my buddies that I went to college with. And a big crew of us, fraternity brothers, we all go to the wedding together with our dates. And we're assuming that the wedding would have alcohol. We were assuming, because most of the weddings that we've been to did. So when we go to the wedding and get through the ceremony, and then we go to the reception like, all right, we got the whole posse, here we go. We're going to hit this thing, right?
Yep. Bar.
What?
Bar.
What? Where's the bar, right? And so 0 bar. And so we probably did the wrong thing. It was in a hotel, and the hotel had another bar. So we would go to the hotel bar and then come back.
I think that's the right thing.
You think that's the right thing? Okay, good. Well, that's what we did, and we continue to do it all night. So anyway, still a great wedding, just a little different.
Yeah.
Yes.
Different.
All right,
Have
Hank.
you ever been to a different religion? Like a different religious marriage?
I don't think I have.
I don't think I have either.
Andy, one of our buddies, said he went to an Indian, not Native American, but Indian.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the ceremonies last an entire weekend. So you have party, ceremony, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday,
be
just
awful.
one great big party.
That'd be awful.
He said it was pretty awesome.
Oh, I'm sure he
Yes,
did, but
yes.
your body would think it was awful.
No, my body could handle it.
I hear you.
Yeah. What else you got on your list, buddy?
Well, there's obviously the fantasy football. We need to get to that.
Yeah.
But this weekend we went and watched. I had to take, the travel soccer. You're asked now to go to High Point or Greensboro or Charlotte for one game.
One game. Yes.
So we played Saturday at 4:00.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we leave our house about 2, get to High Point, and this team was pretty good. I knew it, right? So we get in there, and this little kid on the left side scores a goal. He's fast.
Mm-hmm.
He's skilled.
Yeah.
Scores goal. Whatever. We go down 1-0. We score 1-1. Comes down again, scores again. It's 2-1. Okay. They score a couple more times. He scores the eighth goal.
Now it's 8-1.
8-1.
Yeah.
And that's what we end at. But he scores that 8th goal, and he comes up like this, running down the field, right? Mm. And I pulled Harris aside after that game. I said, listen, I'm not telling you what to do. That would infuriate me.
Right.
That kid wouldn't touch the ball again. Like, I would be on it. I wouldn't care what my coach was saying. Like, you're out of position. I don't care. Cecil over there is not touching the ball.
Right.
Right? But that's just, I was on the sideline coming apart because I was like, mark that kid and don't let him touch the ball. It infuriated me.
Did he do it? Did he listen?
No. I mean,
the game was over.
The game was over at that
okay.
point. But I mean, it's just funny how like competitively you can get in a scenario and like I felt like I was 10 at that point. I was like, I want to guard him and keep the ball from him and not let him see the light of day. But then you have kids out there that are like, just
So you're telling me when you were growing up, and I guess I was probably very similar, but you didn't ever get overcome with emotion if you hit a home run, or let's say you hit a double to drive in the winning run and like, showed some enthusiasm, or were you just cool and you never really did that?
No, I mean, there's times to celebrate it.
Yes.
There certainly are, right? First goal.
But not when you're up 8-1. Okay,
8-1,
I got you.
Yeah, there's
I got
times
you.
to
That makes
celebrate.
sense.
8-1,
Yes.
call the dogs off a little bit.
Sure.
And
Understand.
and I'm not. I don't hate on people for scoring like that. I mean, if it's our job to stop you.
There you go.
So I mean, I'm with you. Score as many as you want,
Yeah.
but it's that the act like you've been there before kind of deal. Because that's what I love about baseball, and I think we've talked about this, is the unwritten rules in baseball. That's what I love, is you don't show up people, right? Or somebody's going to get hurt.
Right.
It's probably the next guy.
Right.
And probably you again when you come up, right? And that's why I loved catching, is because you were in the midst of it and you got to kind of dictate what was going on.
Would you, if a dude had shown up your pitcher of the team before and you're catching, do you give your pitcher the signal like, let's hit this guy? Would you do that?
The next guy? We did it all the time.
Really? And what is the signal?
A middle finger.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And so the pitcher would know then we're going to hit this guy.
This guy's getting ready to get hit.
Holy cow.
But the conversation kind of goes around that because,
Yeah.
okay, so the normal situation is the guy hits a home run, he sits there and stares at it, right? At that point, while he's staring at it, I'm in his ear saying, you better pick up your feet and run.
Let's move along.
You better pick up your feet and run.
Yeah.
And then he'll usually turn back to me and say something, right? Then it's on. Then he's rounding, he's going slow. Usually at that point, your first baseman saw it, and he's saying something to him.
Okay.
Then usually by the time he gets to the plate, I've met him midway up the line.
No kidding. And what are you saying to him at this moment?
You just screwed over your buddy.
Watch your back.
You just screwed over your boy on deck.
Oh, my gosh.
Right?
No kidding.
And then you look at your boy on deck and you say, you can thank him for this.
Oh, because he knows it's coming now.
We're not throwing curveballs either. We're going to throw gas right in your back.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So-
it's a tough sport. I didn't realize baseball was such a tough sport.
No. It's so, but that's what I love about baseball is you don't show it up. It's like, and I caught, so it's like, catchers, you don't ever look at the umpire. If you want to say something to him, you keep your head down and you talk to him.
Yeah.
That way it doesn't look like you're arguing with him. And that way, it's just, that's the cool thing
You're
about it.
showing him some respect by doing that? Is that what you're doing? Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just all those little things that I like about baseball because there's repercussions for your actions. And act like home runs. Act like you've done it before. Because
Right.
if you're not, you're going to get dealt with.
So have you been in a bench clearing brawl before on the field?
I've never been in a fist fight bench clearing brawl, but I've been thrown out of. My favorite story is being thrown out of a game.
Let's hear it.
So we were playing North Carolina A&T. Okay, it was a midweek game. We had a freshman starting, and they were beating us like 10-1.
And let's tell our audience, Hank is a college athlete. He played baseball at Elon University.
Thank you.
Yes, just want to let everybody know.
So
I'm proud of you, man.
Midweek game, which means your starters, your weekend starters, they don't mean anything for your conference. You're just kind of out there, right?
Yeah.
That's probably the reason I was playing. So I'm catching, and a guy gets on first base. They're up by 9. It's the last inning. 10. They're up by 10, the last inning. I'm sitting back, kind of like on my heels, Pitch comes, boom. Guy takes off, steals second.
Right.
Unwritten rule in baseball. You're up by 10.
You don't need to steal.
You're not stealing.
Got it.
Immediately, the coach, I stand up and stare down at him, and I'm like,
Right.
really? Immediately, the coach looks into our dugout, and he was like, Mike, my head coach, Mike, I did not send him. That was on him. I did not send him. I'm so sorry. Because he knows. The coach knew.
Right.
Mike was not feeling it. Mike said, looks over at me, you know what to do. Umpire goes, Mike, we're not having this. It's the last inning. We're not throwing at people. He didn't know what he was doing. Now all of a sudden, the umpire's like, he's the idiot. Don't throw at this other kid. Let's just get out of here.
Right.
I look back over at him. I told you to hit him. All right. Umpire calls time again. Mike, I told you we're not doing this. Hit that.
Oh, my gosh.
So the umpire looks at Eric Cantrell, our pitcher, goes, if you hit him, you are gone. He looks over at Mike, you are gone. And then he grabs my face mask from in front of him, pulls me, looks back, and goes, and you will be gone. Right?
Yeah.
Look back over at Mike, hit him.
Oh, my goodness.
So I get geared up. This is a left-handed hitter. Guy's right here shaking. Boy, that guy was, he
knows
shaking,
what's coming.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Get ready for the pitch. Right out of his hand, I stand up, start walking to the dugout. Pitch didn't even hit him yet.
Yeah.
I stand up. Eric stands up, hits him square in the back. We got to warm up a kid to come in and throw 2 strikes. I mean, to throw 2
So you
outs.
just go ahead and walk right off the
We
field.
just walked off.
Yeah.
But that's like, you're not going to show up. Like, it doesn't matter the score. It doesn't matter anything. You live within the rules of baseball.
The unwritten rules of baseball.
So, but no, I've never been in a bench clearing brawl.
Yeah.
Some arguments,
Yeah, sure.
collisions, and stuff like that.
Well, thank you for that. I learned something today, Hank.
Hey, that's what
Yes.
I'm here for.
So, staying on the same topic here, so not to show anybody up, but you played sports with me before, and I will get animated out there.
Yep.
You, like today, A couple great shots I hit on the tennis court, and you heard, "Come on, yeah!" Right? You heard that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can imagine in high school, I was 10 times more animated. So I will never forget this. I'm a junior in high school. We're playing the seniors basketball at the center. It's probably at this time of Hickory High School's basketball team compared to the center team, we probably would bring more people would come watch our games than the high school games, right? It's my 1990 to 91. So I was a pretty good basketball player. Their team was in first place. Our team was in second place. Well, I happen to have a pretty good game, Hank. Pretty good game. So I've got 24 points, probably 12 assists, 3 steals, 2 boards. There's 33 seconds left in the game. We're down 2.
2 boards. I love that you threw that in there. Go ahead.
Maybe 1 block shot too. Who knows? Well, I've got the ball at the top of the key. 33 seconds. I'm dribbling. We're down 2. Blah blah blah. They're running, setting some picks for me, trying to get me open. I dish the ball to Petey King. He's killing a little bit of the clock's down to 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Roger sets a pick for me on the baseline. I run around, catch the ball outside the 3-point line. Boom. Trey Bondurant. In my face. We're going at each other. Remember Trey?
Oh, yeah.
We're going at each other. We've been going at each other the whole game. 3, 2, rise up. Bap. Got him. 3-pointer. Ball game, right?
Right.
Score 27. I do just like that kid did. Yeah. But, it was a contested. Normally would do that. Yes, I would do that 99 out of 100 times. I'm going to say, yeah. And, it was just a pretty emotional time. Typically, I want to try to be cool, but at that period of time, I'm not going to be cool. I'm going to let everybody know, I hit that game winner. Yes, we are in first place. The juniors just beat the seniors. I ain't show up at school the next day. There's this big posse, and I'm walking by, and it's all those dudes, and they're like, they giving me the evil eye.
Stink eye.
The stink eye, you know. I just felt a lot of hatred, but, it made me feel good. Made me feel real good.
Made you feel good.
Yes, made me feel real good.
That hatred?
The hatred, because I took something that they wanted and they had, and that was that championship. I took it.
Yeah.
Our team took it, but I'm saying that shot kind of cemented it. So
good work.
Thank you, man.
Good work on that one.
We ended up losing first round of the tournament the next week.
To
but
them?
That's it. Probably. I can't remember who we lost to. No, heck, definitely not
We're
to
in
y'all's
8th grade.
team. Good God, y'all are terrible.
What are you talking about?
How did your center team fare? Really?
Pretty well.
Really?
Pretty well. We had pretty good. We had a pretty good run against your brother's team.
Yeah.
That crew.
Yeah.
But the problem is we had split up into 2 teams.
Right.
Like, you guys were smart. You had, like, all your best guys on one team. We were dumb, and we had half our good players on one team, half of them on the other.
Who came up with that strategy?
I don't know. I mean, because we had, like, 15 guys.
See, Jeremy said they had the same thing in their class. They had 2 teams. They just split 2 ways. So, anyway, I guess it happens.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess so.
But anyway, all right. Before we move on, let's talk a little bit about info at themesh.tv.
Okay.
Right?
I guess.
Yeah. Tell me some great things about it. Well, I know one really good thing that's going on at themesh.tv is the live video broadcast can be seen. So not only our beautiful mugs can be seen if you want to go and check out Big Fan via video at themesh.tv, but I think there's several other podcasts. Is that right, guys? Right? Several other podcasts that are video these days.
Right.
So,
and
check
I think
them all out.
I think the biggest thing is that like right now we usually have a break, but like on video we're not going to have a break. So this would be a good opportunity to have a company or someone sponsor. Like they can either do it through the Mesh and they can be a sponsor of the Mesh, or they can be a sponsor of the Big Fan. Big Fan.
Yeah.
If they specifically say, hey, I really like Hank, don't really like Chad, but I want to be a sponsor for the Big Fan.
Yes.
So they could do it right now. So, but all that you would
go to info at themesh.tv to learn about how you can sponsor.
And you could ask. I mean, and I don't think that there's, we've had several people sponsor in the past, which have been great. And I think it's different. You don't have to give $1 million. You can give $1 million, but you can have there's different sizes of the advertising, but more and more people, I mean, we're really hitting the streets over here.
Hey, buddy, this show it's starting to happen for us, Hank.
It is
Do you
starting
feel
to
the
happen for us.
momentum?
I do feel the momentum.
I feel it every day.
But I think that it is right now. We talk about it because we usually take a break now, but now that we're doing live, this would be the time that you would hear that sponsorship. So you can have your sponsorship on the Big Fan.
Yes, awesome. Thank you for that information, Hank. And don't forget to check out info at themesh.tv to learn more.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. So What's next on your list?
Fantasy football.
Yes,
Okay,
our
so I know
favorite.
that's your. We don't want to bore. I think when we did the fantasy formula, people would say, you know what? I really liked the first 20 minutes until you really started talking about football,
Yes.
right? So let's talk about peripherally what happened. Okay, so fantasy has started. Okay, because
Yes.
the NFL season has started, right? But the reality of it is that we had our draft Friday night, 2 Fridays ago.
Yes, we did.
Okay, and we left them our show with them knowing that we had our draft. Now our draft was pretty eventful.
They always seem to be, Hank.
It was pretty eventful. What time did you get out to that draft?
I got out there at 3 in the afternoon. 3 in the afternoon, yes, sir.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Early start.
That's an early start to this.
Yes.
I finished work and got out there at 5:30. So, which was probably the right move because I had to be up at 6:15 the next morning.
Right.
Okay. Now our crowd, I would say, is a pretty diverse crowd, right? We all like different things, but the one thing we do like is to have fun, and we like to give each other a hard time.
Sure we do.
Right? And so the only thing that really spices this evening up is the cornhole tournament at the beginning.
Right. It gets us started.
It gets us started.
Yep.
And in the finals, you weren't in the finals. You were nowhere near the
I
finals.
had a bad run.
You had a bad run.
My partner sucked.
Who was
yes.
your partner?
Mr. Coley.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, worst cornhole player probably in the world.
So we ended up having to play your brother in the finals, but we had to call it early because people wanted to get to the draft. And the negotiations for the money was hilarious.
How did it end up?
60-40.
60-40.
Because we had to beat them twice. They had to beat us once.
Right.
And so we split the money 60-40 with them. But I will say we are starting, I thought, when I left at midnight, I said to myself, you know what? We're all grown up.
We're maturing. Right before our eyes.
Right before our eyes. But it seemed like it was a late night.
Yeah. So I'm just going to be completely honest with our audience. I'm just going to let it all out there.
Okay.
Okay? I mean, if people's feelings get hurt, I'm sorry. I love each and every one of you. But, so the event started at 3. The event ended at midnight. We were going to we weren't going to go on a boat. We weren't going to take a pleasure cruise. We were going to go leave the leave the drafting area and go down a pretty extensive hill to go sit on a boat and glance at the stars, Hank.
Do you think this was the prudent decision now looking back?
I think it was a terrible decision.
Okay.
We should have stayed put in our rocking chairs and...
It's a pretty good situation we were at.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Why leave this perfect situation? Because we wanted it to be just a little bit more special. Let's walk down this very steep embankment. Let's walk onto this boat and let's look up at the sky and let's see 1,000,000 stars in the sky. That sounds pretty attractive, though, doesn't it?
It does.
Doesn't it sound pretty
and
attractive?
I know in your mind, too.
Yes. I was like,
at 1
Yes.
in the morning, I bet you just sold yourself big on that one.
It was my idea. I was like, guys,
Of course it
I
was.
got something special for y'all. So anyway, long story short, 3 of us go down, make it to the boat unscathed. 2 more walk down the steep stairs, down the embankment to the boat. We're unscathed. One little soldier lost his footing.
He was a soldier because he was carrying a cooler.
A very heavy cooler down a very steep embankment. One little soldier, he didn't make it onto that boat. Anyway, so what happened? The rest you're going to have to check the police files for. I think they're locked up. I don't think we can't really talk about it right now, but let's just say the boat trip or the stargazing session was called quits immediately. We all went back to where we began, and Uber started picking us up one by one and taking us home.
Okay.
Like normal, it should happen to normal adults, okay?
Yeah.
Can I tell you what happened the next night? I'm back on the lake again. And let's just say the first night after this person didn't make it onto the boat, I basically, I think I saved a life that night. Let's just say that. I basically think I saved a life.
This brings up a great point.
Okay.
Because somebody told me, did you hear Chad drug somebody out of the lake at your fantasy draft? I don't think his face was underwater.
He was laying in a little bit of water. It was about this deep. And I I picked his head up
That's-
gingerly
Yeah.
to make sure he could breathe.
I heard your brother had to sit down. He was in the water and was kind of unsteady, and he had to just sit down in the water.
Let's just say the East family, we saved a life, okay? So moving on to the next day, we're back on the lake again. Same kind of circumstances. We're having a ball.
Same
Everybody's-
kind of circumstances.
Everybody's it's,
Oh.
yep, everybody's
Everybody's
having a
having
big
fun.
time. Everybody's had a big time, and so it's time to go to bed. And one of my friends tries to jump from the boat to the dock. Well, misses the dock and goes right down in between the boat and the dock. I'm back in the water again, saving another life.
Saving
Hank.
a life.
Would you call me a hero?
No.
You would not call me a hero. What would you call me?
Glutton for punishment?
I don't
You
know
hang
what-
out with terrible people.
Maybe that's what it is. I just hang out with the wrong crowd. But anyway, jump in, grab the fella by his britches, pull him up on the dock. I don't have to give him CPR or like do any kind of movement to get his. I mean, he's fine.
He's
but
breathing.
He's breathing. He's fine. But at that
I would
moment,
love to see you fight him. I need to give you
I
mouth
need to
to
give
mouth.
him CPR right now, buddy. But anyway, so I left that. This is twice in 24 hours. I'm in the water,
Saving life.
saving a life. Call me a hero. Call me what you will.
I'll call you a paper salesman or printing.
Printing.
I'm
salesman.
sorry.
But anyway, so that was after the events of last week, and that's what happens here
Okay.
in good old Hickory, North Carolina.
Any more?
Just saving lives every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell our audience that the evening was spectacular. It
Huge
was
hit.
it was a great, and I got to tell you, my favorite part of this whole thing is something called the what is it when we all go up, the past champions?
the champions
The Ring of
handshake,
Champ-
Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor,
Yes.
the Ring of Honor. And so all the previous champions, they go up and they shake hands and they hug and they turn their backs to the losers that have not won a title. And there's probably 4 or 5 of them. And it's
Yes.
really good because we really hoop it up.
Yeah, we really rub
high
it in on it,
fives
yes.
and everything. And just turn your backs to the
Yeah.
losers.
I like just to look at them and
I kind of enjoy that
it's a
myself.
good feeling. It's a good
I do.
feeling.
But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But my team lost already. I'm 0-1.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm 0-1 in that league too. 2-0 in my other leagues, but not off to the best start in our league.
No.
I will tell you before we leave the fantasy football stuff, the creativity that we come up with to make this is almost 18 years we've been doing this, to make the draft more fun each and every year. You come up with a T-shirt that you break out and unveil in the middle of the draft, which is always great. Always making fun of another team or
GM.
thank you. And then how about the hip hop? I wrote a rap before
It was
the
incredible.
draft even started.
It was incredible.
Included it with some visual that we printed on our brand new wide format press at Deluxe Printing Group. I mean, unbelievable creativity we're bringing to the table every day
It
at
was.
the fantasy football draft.
Did you do a commercial for everybody this year again? You just didn't get to them?
I made commercials. I made probably 6, but we just couldn't get them all. I mean, we got
I was
so much
excited
going
to hear
on.
mine. I didn't know if there was one.
How about the LT School of Golf and Tennis?
It was incredible.
Incredible, right?
was
Anyway,
incredible.
guys, I wish you could all be a part of this fantasy football draft that we do every year. It's just a blast. I'm sure
Do a
you.
podcast from that one year.
That's what we need to do.
Early.
Podcasts from the draft live.
What if we did it early? We did 2-hour podcasts. We did one at 4.
Yes.
And then we did one at 1 a.m. There'd be a stark difference between the two.
I'm out on that one. I'm a hero, but I'm not that much of a hero, Hank. Can you
All right.
understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
Hank, unfortunately, I've got some daddy duties I have to take care of this afternoon, so I'm going to have to cut the podcast just a little bit short. But before I leave you, I did want to, do you ever get this? It's a website called BuzzFeed.com, and they send me all these things all the time. Are you a Ross? Are you a Chandler? Are you a Phoebe? Are you a Rachel? You know what I'm saying?
No.
You don't know what I'm saying?
No.
Well, I was going to go through this entire
Well, go through it.
exercise
Go
about
through it.
what out of those characters for Friends, right? What would you consider, like your personality? What would you consider it? Like
Who
how does it
was
match up?
Matthew Perry?
He's Chandler.
Okay, probably a Chandler.
Yeah, I'm thinking more of you as like a Rachel.
Wait, I don't know.
I've got to give you the description
Okay.
because I'll give you the descriptions and then you
See,
can.
you're playing with things I don't know
I
about
know.
here.
You know what? We're going to save this one till next time when you can have the full descriptions of each and every individual character, and then you can.
This
match
better
up.
be flattering.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people want to be a Rachel.
Okay.
You know what I was? Which I disagree with it completely. I'm a Ross.
Ugh.
Yes. I think I'm more of, and you can be a girl too, like
Yeah,
personality
yeah.
traits. I think I'm more of a Phoebe.
Think so?
I think I'm more of a Phoebe, or maybe a Joey Phoebe combo. Yeah. You're just Chandler.
I think. I don't know. I don't know. This is your deal.
Yes,
You're gonna have to.
we'll do this one next week when I can give you all of the definitions.
Okay. Because I don't really know where I'd sit with all that.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to say a Seinfeld, those are the characters I can relate to.
Well, on Seinfeld, who do you relate to the most?
I don't know. I think Jerry. I think you remind me of Newman.
I knew you were going to say that. You're such a prick. But anyway, we'll get all that fun stuff going next week, Hank. College football started in full tilt last week. Any exciting things, big parlays of the year that you hit?
No, I have not. We did not. My brother-in-law was here, and we
Yeah.
didn't even take any action.
Really?
On anything. I know you probably.
I laid off too, man.
You are out of your mind.
I had to MC the auto lawn last week. It's a big event, huge turnout, looked great for Hickory. I didn't know if we've talked about this or not, but the Friday night before the auto lawn, which took place on Saturday, Sales on the Square kind of reopened. It was the biggest crowd I've ever seen uptown Hickory for any event. It was massive and impressive, if I may say that.
You
It
can
was
say that.
Very, very impressive. And it wasn't like overly crowded. It was like there was space, and the band was great, and there were just people having a great, great time downtown Hickory. So
Did I see a picture of you at the auto lawn with highlights in your hair? What was that all about?
The sun was reflecting. I have some gray hair in my hair. Yes, believe it or not, I'm not as youthful as I used to be, Hank.
That's true.
And so the sun was shining on my gray hair, and it kind of looked like I had blonde hair.
It looked like you had highlights. I was like, this
Somebody-
gard's been surfing.
This is hilarious. So I think it was Jeff or somebody said either that dude is an ex-professional soccer player or the oldest member of Menudo. That's hilarious.
That was great.
So I went with the Menudo joke because I did look like I could have been one of the singers. And do you remember Menudo?
I absolutely
Okay,
do.
absolutely.
They got kicked out of the van when they hit puberty.
Yes, exactly. So Menudo was Menudo before Backstreets was Backstreets.
Yeah.
Or NSYNC was NSYNC.
Yeah.
Menudo kind of stayed before New Kids on the Block.
Yeah.
Yes.
They had the formula.
They did. They certainly did. Speaking of formula, anything else you've got on your list, friend?
I think that's it. I was angry enough with those first three comments. I'm glad we got to talk that out.
Yeah, me too. And next week, upcoming, we've got our new tennis leagues are starting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you play last night?
I didn't, thank God, because I heard we got destroyed.
Did you play tonight? Tomorrow?
No, I'm flying to Jacksonville.
What are we doing in Jacksonville?
We're doing some business down there, Hank.
Business?
We're doing some business.
Okay.
We're spreading
Spreading those wings?
Spreading the dynasty.
Okay.
Yes.
How about this weekend?
This weekend, we've got 90th grandma's birthday. Jennifer's grandmother. This is pretty
High
awesome.
Point?
Yes, High Point. 90th birthday party, and then my niece turns 1 on the same day, celebrating
awesome.
90th in High Point, driving to Charlotte, celebrating 1. That's pretty interesting
That's pretty
stuff.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yep, and then Saturday we're coming home, and I got a story before I can leave. When I was a freshman at Hickory High School, I went to Grandview. A lot of the other people that went to Hickory High went to College Park. That's what it was called then. Grandview and College Park folks, we had big rivalry, so we weren't really even friends. We were rivals, So the second week of school, one of the College Park guys threw a party, all right? And they threw a party where it was to really for all we're in high school now, we're in 9th grade. But one of the guy who threw the party, his name was Roger Young, he sent me an invitation to come to the party. And I didn't even really know Roger very well, but he sent me an invitation. So I was very hesitant to go. But I was like, you know what? Go meet some new people. You've got to know the Grandview people. Go meet some of the College Park people. You're in high school now. You should all be one. So I go to the party. I talk about this a lot, too, with my daughters, but I'll tell you why. I met some of my best friends to this day that are my best friends to this day that I talk to every day. I met at that party.
Yeah.
And if I wouldn't have gone, who knows? So guess what happens in Olivia's life? There's this little girl named Kayla. She is having a party. It's the same week that Roger had his party when I came to high school. It's 2 weeks in. And she went to Northview. She invited Olivia. And I was like, Olivia,
Gotta go.
you gotta go. Who knows who you're gonna meet? You might meet your best friend in the entire world at this party.
Yep.
You just gotta be willing to give it a chance. And so she's going. So after we get back from birthday parties, Olivia's going to the party on Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah, and these girls are awesome. They're going to have a blast. And so when I told Roger and Steven Sparks, who I met for the first time at my high school party,
right.
Hey guys, look what's happening. It's coming like full circle. It's bizarre. All this stuff is just bizarre. Yesterday, first PTA meeting at Hickory High. They give me Olivia's schedule. Jennifer and I go. The bell rings. Ding. They want you to go to every class to kind of see what your child is doing, get to meet all their teachers. 2 of the classes were in my biology class and my math class when I was a freshman. And so, I'm talking about we're walking down the same paths.
Yep.
I just hope she's definitely going to be a lot smarter and
I was
better
getting
than
ready
me.
to say,
It's not
you
even close.
wish.
It's not even close. But so anyway, it's exciting times here.
Not
in
to wish
Hickory,
for
North
that.
Carolina. Yeah, I mean, she's already surpassed me leaps and bounds.
For sure.
But anyway, so that's what I got going on, buddy. We talk about what you have.
I've got sports this weekend. We're playing in a little baseball tournament this weekend, so
Yes.
we got that on Saturday, Sunday, and then I haven't been to a Hickory High game, and I don't know if they play at home or not. I'm going to have to see, but
They're away this week.
oh, they are. Darn,
Yeah.
because I remember that being a very important
Yes.
part of my childhood.
Sure.
And we are starting to see kids like Roger Young. You said his son plays on that football team.
Right.
He's playing varsity now. And so it's kind of nice to go there and say, oh, look, here's somebody you know and whatever. But all the kids there are, people you run into too. And so it's kind of a neat kind of community deal that we, by going, I feel like it's an obligation for Harris to go and do those same things.
Sure.
And to be part of that community because it is, football's life for a lot of communities. And I don't know if Hickory really drills down as much for it, but
it's still important. It's an important way for everyone to get together.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I think that, being able, I really love the idea of being able to watch kids that are 6, 7, 8 years older than Harris from this point forward, watch them play at every level and knowing kids that are younger than him and watch them play. So it's going to be interesting to kind of get part of it. I love the idea of Harris and I go to a ton of sports.
Right.
LR, Hickory High. We go, sadly enough, and my wife is wonderful at this because she'll go with us.
Yeah.
There were probably times this spring that we'd go to the rec and watch coach pitch baseball games because
kidding.
Tucker Banks was playing
Friends were playing,
and so we went to see their little kid. And, I'd rather do that than anything.
Sure.
So,
And the other cool thing about going to the high school event, so Harris knows some of those older dudes because of the family relationships. Everybody knows everybody in Hickory. And he's like, oh, yeah, Tripp's playing varsity. It helps him to say, man, I might want to do that too.
Right.
No,
it definitely
inspires and motivates.
Right.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
Before we leave too, there's some exciting news. The 5th annual Foot Candle Film Festival is right around the corner, Hank.
Right.
September 27th through the 29th, Drendel Auditorium. This film festival, it is bringing people from across the country to Hickory, North Carolina. And I know I mentioned this last week. Alan Jackson and Chris Fry were in our state magazine in the middle spread promoting not only Foot Candle Film Festival, but the town of Hickory, North Carolina.
Yeah.
So, guys, check it out. Get your tickets. Check them out. www.footcandlefilmfestival.com. Again, it's September 27th through the 29th. You don't want to miss it. A big, big event in Hickory, North Carolina. People from all over the place checking us out. All right, buddy. I think that's a wrap.
all right.
I look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks. And also on the tennis courts next Tuesday to take another beating like you did today.
I think my boy's back. CJ. I think
really?
he's back.
Okay.
I think he's back, and I think we're going to get back on track.
Yeah.
So not to worry. Don't worry.
I'm not worried about
You know what? You did good today.
Thank
Good
you very
job.
much. As did you.
Thank you.
Guys, we'll talk to everyone in 2 weeks. Thanks for listening to The Big Fan.